sense in Justin McBride's demeanor and certainly in his words, right? There's no secret formula, right, to just turning around your team. And Mac knows staying the course, however right you as a coach or you as a team define staying the course, is usually the best way to go about things.
So it is, and I got to ride against McBride. I mean, that guy is dedicated. He was even, every day he would show up to go to work. It didn't matter what everybody else ride 8 seconds or not, he was there.
Cody Jesus, Hoka-Hey. Well, Cody Jesus was just handed his helmet right there by a bull that has been very rideable for a number of guys.
Oof, excuse the pun right there, handed his helmet. And I'm just like you. That's on a matchup. You're like, oh, yeah, this is a gimme right here. We're 87, 88. We move ahead. No big deal. Start with that. Okay, had different opinion today. He brought his A game today. And that's the other thing about those animals. When they want to, my goodness, they can switch gears just like the other athletes.
Yeah, and that is the biggest difference, right, of our league versus other sports. You know, there really isn't playing defense for a team, right, in our games. I mean, you're always on offense. It's the Bulls that only control the defensive end.
Yeah, the Bull is the defense. Instead of weighing 200 pounds, they weigh 1,800 pounds. Yeah. And that's the thing, especially as a stock contractor or manage the Bulls, is to figure out what those triggers are. What makes the Bulls do their best? What makes them feel their best? To jump the highest, to spin the fastest. I mean, that's the triggers you're looking for. And, for Blake Sharp and his crew, hey, whatever you fed Hoka-Hey for breakfast this morning, give it to him again because he likes it.
But, guys, sometimes the worst defense is getting in your own way, and that has been the case for Cooper Davis as of late. He's been very vocal about the fact that sometimes he lets things creep into his own mind. Clear mind this week. Came into the locker room with a big smile on his face, bouncing around happy. And, guys, we all know that a happy, having fun Cooper Davis is the most dangerous version.
Oh, Matt, you said it, right? I mean, no matter the season, right? We have seen that throughout his career. He's facing black tie with a chance to immediately give Carolina the lead.
We always talk about Carolina staying in their alley and watching them. They don't care what happened over there. They come to ride their 5 Bulls.
Well, his frustration is going to continue because black tie didn't need to go formal on Coop, as it was the direction change that clearly got him out of position and clearly resulted in the 0.
I didn't like the start that well. You look in there's a board on one side and a 4x4 on the other side. Get that bull started. He kind of started awkward, and Coop just survived right through it. But is this switch right here, you don't think he ain't gritting it out. When you land on the back of your head like that, you're going to the ground.
Well, and to further emphasize Matt's point from a moment ago, Coop is now only 1 for his last 7.
I will speak up for those gold buckles over there, and I'm so impressed with Coop and Sage Kimsey. Those guys are not taking the easy ones. I mean, I'm sure they're involved in who gets on what bulls. Like, they have been getting on the rank ones. Their opener and their closers have been getting the juice.
Now time for Nashville to send out Anderson de Oliveira, who debuted in Missouri last weekend, went 0 for 2, but came close on one occasion facing black ice. Here he faces Fire Zone.
It's always cool to just kind of see the new guys and blending in and trying to figure out what they are. And you want to do that in a practice pen. Like, hey, like this is the triggers. Let's challenge him other directions, other styles of bulls. But you got to find out the big show.
Fire Zone brought the heat as Oliveira is off at 4.8.
Well, he went to him. You can tell right there when you're confident in it down, you don't even re-rep. You're wanting it. You're trying to go to it. He gets around that corner. It's about all but over. He just caught him another gear. Oh, that's a nice little bull there. He'll want him back.
And instantly on the back of the chutes, McBride and Silvano Alves started talking. McBride saying that's an easy little fix. So they are going to work already on what they could do this week in the practice pen to change that result.
Speaking of change, Derek Kolbaba is going to try to change the direction of this game. Last weekend he was 1 for 2 in Springfield. He's roughly
Kolbaba,
40%.
he was such a closer for Oklahoma when we were over there. But hey, this matchup right here, wild card, was a big difference. We watched this Bull Bucks Casey Roberts off the other day, about 7 seconds with that big switch. And I do think that wild card and Kolbaba, they match up. I think it's kind of where he sets his rope, where he sets the bull. I think they are such a good pair. But this bull, sometimes about 6-7 seconds, he'll switch directions and switch leads, roll his old shoulders, and it gets really strong real fast for a lefty.
One of the interesting things for the Carolina Cowboys is every Tuesday they have a Zoom call. The entire team chimes in. They usually go back and they watch rides from the previous weekend. This week, they did a complete reset. Jerome actually queued up the very first perfect game they had of the season. He went back, reinforcing positivity and reminding this team how perfect they can be and why they got to that number one spot, reaffirming everything that everybody in the league knows and making sure that Carolina remembers they are the number one team for a reason.
Yeah, Matt, and speaking of number one, right, the numerology is crazy. I know you and Kate talk a lot about this on PBR Now during the week, but their average game score, the total points scored, is over 250 points, right? But during this kind of dry spell, I'll call it, it's only been around 86 to 88. So a clear difference in these last 4 games in their production level. Cord, you were on it as Kolbaba tames wild card for a second time this season. Not only is he fired up, but he gets the Cowboys in the lead. 87 3/4.
Oh, that's so cool. Hey, the first time they matched up, they were on that B side, kind of into the fence. I didn't think that he would stay left. Sure enough, he just looked left and back to the right, and Kolbaba did not take the bait, and he showed his skills right there. He just took it the other way. That is awesome for Kolbaba.
Well, clearly we talk about Austin's big three. I feel like Carolina war between Davis, Kolbaba, Swearingen, and Kimsey. And Kolbaba has given them a much-needed score early on in Game 2. Well, 7-time world champ Sage Kimsey could care less about his bull riding numbers. He only cares about how many times he can inspire his team. Called a leader for a reason. He bats with American U, which is not an easy pairing.
No, we go over it every week. There's no easy bulls in this. There's some easier than others, but there's no easy ones in here. But Alan DeSouza is one of those guys that, even in the regular season, UTB has put up numbers. I think he has number thing where you pick the bull and your coach puts it there.
Yeah.
Like this guy has got such a variety. But, I like to say, if they go right and they stay right, there's about a 99.9% chance that Allen is going to get them rode. And that's pretty cool right in the middle of 9.9% chance that Allen is going to get them rode. And that's pretty cool right in the middle of the lineup for Nashville to say, hey, let's get us a score on the board. And looking down at the standings right now, that's pretty important.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They need it. We showed you that stat. He's bucked off 7 of his last 8. So slight uphill battle statistically for DeSouza. Change of direction also becomes a conundrum as Allen's down and Nashville stays blanked.
It's almost like American U just read the script, too, and you see this round after round after round to the right, and it's not working, but you can see it happen real quick right here. And it really has taught the bull a lesson. And, you're the next rider on this. Say, hey, this is going to happen. And it really has taught the bull a lesson. And, you're the next rider on this. Say, hey, this is going to happen. That change-up worked for him last time, and it's almost just being the psychiatrist for the bull. He is thinking. That's what he's thinking, that change works.
Listen, while you were describing that, I saw, like, the proverbial, right, in cartoons, when the light bulb goes off above the head.
Ding.
That's what just happened for American U. He's like, ooh.
Yeah, this works. I'm trying
like
it next time.
Well, let's see if Ethan Winkler likes his matchup with Rockville. This would be a chance for Carolina to go 2 bulls ahead.
Guys, typically this season, that number 3 spot has belonged to Adriano Salgado, who you see pulling his rope right there. I talked to Adriano earlier today. He said the foot is healing up nicely. It feels good, but the groin is what's been giving him the most issues. as of late. He's actually scheduled for MRIs later on this week. Talking to Jerome Davis about this match for Ethan Winkler, he said, we're asking a lot out of this young man, but we've seen him give us so much. We think he's the guy to step into this role in the number 3 spot.
One thing you don't have to doubt about this guy is try and effort. And we watched Rockville kind of change it up the other day, kind of down the gate and around to the right. And that's right over in his office. So if this bull does the norm, it's going to be what he wants. Usually likes to spin to the left. We need that right change up again.
On the clock. I've seen this over a few times tonight. If you're new to the sport, the judges start that only when they feel the riders had enough time to nod, and if it gets to 0, it's a DQ.
Sit up, Ethan, sit up!
Great job by the bullfighters to basically take the hit and clear the space so that Ethan Winkler, stayed as safe as possible.
You can pick apart of what you need to do. A big 44.75 for Rockville, but you can hear right here people holler, set up, set up, set up. They know that this bull is steep. That's going to be the trick, and that's ended up being what get him at the end. Too much pressure on that right foot and popped him in the rear.
Well, and look, the silver lining for Ethan Winkler is the confidence that Jerome Davis is showing in him to keep giving him these opportunities.
And it's other like just a thank you. You know, when you're not a starter starting for Carolina, you start getting some shootout spots. Hey, it doesn't matter what that bull is that you get. Just put me a starting position. I'll take anything you want. And I think that's where Ethan is right now. It doesn't matter how rank or how scary he is. I'll take him.
Guess what? This pairing could change everything for Nashville. Caden Loud is the best rider they have at the moment on their team. There's no denying the stats. He's paired with High Plains Drifter.
Yeah, we've even heard McBride talk about it. It doesn't matter which way the bull's going with the do. And, we've got to look at all the stats and everything else. But Caden is one of those guys that screws up all the stats that you have. You can throw them out the window. When he's riding good, he can ride them all. And that's a Casio Diaz. That's a world title race caliber guy. When you have such a variety that you can ride, and that's where Caden is putting himself into that group of guys that can do it all.
Back during their homestand, he had 2 walk-off wins that weekend.
But since that, Craig, they've really played him, set him out a week, played him, set him out a week. It was every other week as just health management, nursing a sore back. So this is the first time he'll be back-to-back weekends since that homestand. So that...
Well, he can definitely check the leave square box. He can check the qualified ride box. And it looks like he can check the run to safety box. Carolina's got 2. 88 points.
I was worried about it right there. We talk about the ribs is one of those things. It's about as bad as you get. You can't get away from it. You just got to ride through the pain, and you watch his rib cage stretch over the top of his head. You know he's dealing with some pain there. That's a fight through it. That's why he's got a gold buckle.
The team loves it. And with those 2 scores, Blake Shark, there you go. Defending Stock Contractor of the Year. He's in the mix, and that means Silvano Alves will get his chance against Johnny Rocket, basically in a must-ride situation now. Both of Nashville's riders left. Alves and Loud need to get the job done to stay in this.
But because of that, there was this new sense of energy on the back of the chutes when they realized, wait, we've still got our most productive rider and Caden Loud aboard I'm Legit 2 left to go. And there was quickly a sense of we are right in the middle of this one, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when you look at the stats of Johnny Rocket, Cord. Again, I'm more of a stats guy when it comes to the bulls than you are, but Johnny Rocket's been ridden over 50% of the time he's left the chutes.
Yeah, it's not even whether they can ride them or not. I mean, to be able to put bulls with enough score points to make that, and they're not safe. You throw I'm Legit 2 in there, a bull they've been 90 points on, 20 times. That's not looking at his stats. They're just ones that I can remember. Against Savano, the best closer, and Caden Loud, the hottest guy that Nashville's got. Also, you look to the other side. I know that Sage has rode Exodus before,
Yes.
but that is the dirty job. That's not an easy bull. It's tough. This game is a long ways from over the way it looks like it could play out.
No, you're right, but it all starts with this 8 seconds. It has to be 8 seconds here for Silvano Alves, or it's done. A 3-time PBR world champion being sent a message by Johnny Rocket, but look at how Silvano just settles in, never takes his hand out. There's the nod. Alves not only does his job, but he does it with purpose. That is qualified ride number 522 in his illustrious career, and he keeps his team in it. 86 3/4.
That's awesome right there. That bull's bucking around in the chute, and everything kind of the wear and tear. They have to ride. This guy's been in this situation hundreds of times. What, 500 rides? This guy's not his first rodeo.
So that will immediately.
Oh, 500, I'm legit too, is still bringing it. Get that rare, getting around there. He actually just went just a little ahead, and when he tried to fight to get out, oh, there it broke apart. You'd have bet on Caden every time, though.
That was the 110th out for that great bull from David Hale and J.W. Hart. Meanwhile, Justin McBride will recap some things to work on as we do get one final pairing, which, as Ford has already mentioned, is a rematch between Sage Kimsey and Exodus.
Well, what do your team or individual, whatever, this is a matchup that, man, you want to see. Exodus, especially last year and the year before, had been the toughest bull in the business. Alan de Souza finally got him rode, and I think him and Sage are the only two to ride him. Mm-hmm. This is a rematch, but this is a little bucker. He's a handful to get by.
Sage is on the clock, and now Exodus gets more than a little active. Oh, great nod. Exodus definitely gets some payback and some contact.
Hey, here's the other thing. When you've got your ace in the hole right there and you continue to match him tough, these big bulls that are dangerous like that, boy, he could take a man out of business. That's a bucker right there. That Sage had rode him before, but Exodus gets the win today.
Yeah, that head-to-head contact, making sure that Exodus cleans up Sage Kimsey. Buck-off time 4:09. Thunder and the Arizona Ridge Riders. They will butt heads. Well, they've got lethal weapons almost in every single spot, but it took 2 questions from Matt West to get Ross Coleman to smile, but they were both about Boudreaux Campbell, either directly or indirectly. So let's times this season.
Yeah, this is a big ride, and I think Ross always talks about that cowboy. We got in there and cowboyed up, and definitely went straight to him. Him and Baldy match up for the big W.
That really did light a fire under the Thunder last weekend. And can he do the same here? He's a top spice. Ooh. Spice definitely brought a little bit of everything there. Ultimately, it is a 0.
Well, something just didn't look fair right there. I think that bull just hopping and skipping. I'm kind of like a Boudreaux. There's got to be like a hop or a stumble or something. You just want to watch that replay to see if you want to throw your flag on the very first one. Right here, just something, just hop, skip, roll around there. It's not like a Boudreaux made a mistake. It just didn't work. 44 1/4 there for Spice.
Yeah. Just a great bull out, and so that allows Arizona an opportunity in the bottom of the first. Jacoy Hale, who last weekend was a perfect 2 for 2, running his season total to 3 and 6. And by the way, look at what the big three of Arizona were able to do last weekend.
Yeah, 3 for 3, 3 for 3, 2 for 2. Another thing about Jacoy, it was the same bull. He rode him one evening for supper, then turned around and had him for breakfast the next day. I mean, just back to back. It was no accident that Jacoy showed him that, it was on purpose.
So here he gets an opportunity to keep his string of perfection going. A top homeboy.
Yeah, another one from DNH and Buck and Curly. It's another little young bull that, man, has just kind of been making a name for himself. He wants to buck hard.
I love the way you said that, almost like as a question. He wants to buck hard. Homeboy may want to buck hard, but Jacoy Hale wants to ride bulls even more. After going 2 for 2 last weekend, he's now ridden 3 consecutive. And Colby Yates and the Arizona faithful love it. 86 points.
That's a big deal for Colby Yates right there. We watched it the other day in Springfield. Colby figured out what bull he matches up with good, and he continues to just throw him the ball. Let him get it. This is what he does good. Let's let him get the win.
Well, that's a great way that you just described it, Cord, because you're right. You've said this throughout the season. A coach figuring out which bulls work best for each specific rider is huge for this success.
Yeah, this is your riding style. This is what you do good. Let's capitalize on that. Here's our roster of guys, and here's our list of 5 bulls. Matching them up the best, I think, is the biggest thing that you can do.
Felipe Furlong will now get his opportunity to help Missouri cut into this deficit. He is a top hawk.
He looked like he's already set in. I was going to let him ride, but Hawk's a buck or two.
Not going to be the biggest score ever, but Furlong is able to take some flight atop Hawk. Re-ride flags have been thrown, so does Ross Coleman take the score away?
A lot of conversation happening already. They're waiting to find out what that number is going to be, but they have already started talking back and forth. 76.5 points. The numbers.
6-1 a minute.
So it either goes away and they accept the re-ride, or they keep it.
We're taking it.
I think they're going to take the re-ride, right, Matt?
Yeah, they're going to take the re-ride, and they're going to call for Casey Roberts to step in and take that next bull.
I like to think that there's a re-ride pin of bulls that match up, but we watched it for Nashville earlier. They had Amajit too, one of the best bulls on the whole list, but got bucked down. That's the chance that you're taking there. I think the bulls are going to be great, but there's no easy ones on here.
It's going to be Mayhem.
Oh, just right.
Yeah.
Just right.
Yep. So that brings up Eduardo Aparecido. Again, we showed you already his great weekend last week. He went 3 for 3. He's at career 402. This would be 403. Tied with Ross Coleman, by the way, at 402. He's the top Magic Spire, so hoping that he can move one ahead of Ross and help his team move 2 ahead of Ross's team.
Yeah, I think Fast Eddie has been on the streak 3 for 3.
Boy, oh boy, did Magic Spire bring it in this instance. And then it looked as though Eduardo did get stepped on at the end. So hopefully he'll be okay, but ultimately this is a 0.
Yeah, Martinez family has got another bucker right there. And man, that bull just looks good, so powerful and just moving around there. Whew.
Ooh.
Be careful.
Well, in a bit. Street re-ride out front of T-Mobile Center, getting the fans ignited, ready to go. Most of them are here inside watching game number 3. We're happy you're joining us on the first night of Outlaw Days, and this is a chance for Missouri's Dawson Gleaves to get something going atop Gray Fox.
I tell you what, it's good to come off the big win last weekend and have that confidence, and they're trying to continue that. Just, we don't want the soft 76. We're going for the big one right there. And I think that's the standard that Coleman's trying to set back there. We're not settling for just a ride. We want high scores on all of them.
Yeah, and I think, Matt, right, that just goes to Ross's mentality. I mean, like a lot of these guys,
I think he preaches more fun now than he ever did in the locker room. He wants to keep his guys loose. I think he preaches more fun now than he ever did in the locker room. He wants to keep his guys loose. As intense as he always is, no matter what we're doing, he's really talking. You heard him mention with Boudreaux Campbell, he brings a lighthearted fun to the locker room, and that's what he's trying to do with all these guys. Stay intense, stay focused, don't waste any move, and he wants them all to soak in every second. Dawson Gleaves, a fourth-generation Cowboy, stepping in here right now. In here right now.
Been in and then falling in to the well is that one over very quickly. 2 and change.
The Gray Fox, he just catching gears. You see them things. That's not going off the field. I'm doing this. Can you catch me? It's a speed thing. He's already trying to make those corrections. It's neat to watch the next 20 seconds after you ride. How quick you see those guys. I want to fix the problem now. Let's get by it.
Look, and this is still a very young lineup for Missouri. Immediately back to the drawing board.
Well, we stay on the Missouri side now.
Immediately back to the drawing board.
Well, we stay on the Missouri side now with another youngster, Briggs Madsen, getting his chance at Beefcake. We've seen this bull over the past few weekends a number of times.
Oh, this one looks tough to me, and it's not because he jumps real high or rares or drops or kicks. It's all the other things. You train for everything, and then there's Beefcake. Like he's gonna go frontward. It's like the bull rope is just gonna be running forward and in a circle. It's just try to keep from sliding off that rope. And it's not the first jump, the second jump, but if you just slide off an inch every second, before you know it, you're sitting on his tail and it's going really fast.
Yeah, this bull has been fun to watch. Briggs Madsen, we're showing you, has only ridden 2 out of the past 10.
If you remember Missouri, though, the bull that he slapped to be 90 points, just last week, I think Briggs is riding good.
Well, Cord, off of everything that you just said, I feel like then we watched it in high speed, but it wasn't high speed, it was regular speed.
Oh, that was wreck speed right there. It fell apart real fast. Yeah, 45 and a quarter for Beefcake. That's the best day that I've ever seen him have, and they just kind of rolled over Briggs' hand, and he was just tied to him when he was still on the outside or underneath him. Whew, that's a dangerous spot. I'm just trying to watch every time his back feet hit where he connected. Pretty blessed not to hurt something bad.
No, absolutely. And yet another example of how important all 3 of these bullfighters are. You can see Briggs now checking in with sports medicine. And we will go back inside the steel because it's going to be Bruno Carvalho who's going to get his opportunity to give the Ridge Riders a second score atop Bam Bam.
Oh, what a nice little bull. Brendan Eldred actually raised this little bull, and McCoy Rodeo and Phil Dahl, invested in this one. And just a little 3-year-old. I mean, he's got his whole life ahead of him, so it's a big night to go to that top level of bull riding. This is his debut. Little bull's got such a good mind about him. Just to sit there, no big deal. 25,000 people watching live TV.
Yeah.
We're on the clock. It's no big deal for Bam Bam.
No, he is pretty chill at the moment. Bruno's going to have to nod. There he does. That is a great out for Bam Bam. And that creates a great dance for Bruno Carvalho, who gives Arizona a much-needed cushion.
Cord, I wasn't listening earlier when you talked about who owned that bull, but I did hear you say it was his debut. Whoever it is, they ought to be proud of that one. I know Bruno likes it.
Hey, you know, that thing is, you're not that far from being a bull rider and you're a stock contractor and a commentator. That's the one that everybody loves. The riders love him. The fans love him. The pay window loves him. Bam Bam is one that everybody wants.
Oh, yeah, and Kobe Yates loves him, too, by the way. 87 and a half. Arizona now with 173.5, putting the pressure on Missouri. Basically, we're in a must-ride situation now for Casey Roberts in his re-ride opportunity that Ross gave him. We talked about the bull already, but just a reminder, Mahan has been very rideable in this for the upper echelon of guys.
Yeah, you said it right there. You just about got rider-friendly out, and I looked down in JRV, Cooper Davis, Dalen Swearengin were the last three guys, all world champions. So, Mahan has not had a, let's say, easy riders on his back lately.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest rides. JRV rode him. Had a re-ride there, and it was a must-ride situation in Nashville when JRV rode him. But this bull is another veteran, and Casey needs his breakthrough. I think he rode a bull, 7.8, 7.9 the other day, as a big ride. I think Casey is so good, so effective. He's kind of fought through some injuries, but he has so much talent.
Talk about those injuries. We also mentioned Missouri being a very youthful roster. It feels like Casey Roberts has been around for years. You got to keep in mind, he is still very new in his career.
Well, it took Mahan some time to finally get into that left-handed spin, and when he did, Roberts couldn't keep up, and that's it.
You can't go against these guys. Nashville taking the re-ride with Caden Loud and Casey Roberts getting the re-ride here. If you're going to match them bull for bull, that 70-something score doesn't do much. But here's the other deal. You got to get them rode. If not, the zero don't count for much.
Well, that gives Arizona 3 consecutive wins.